Hi, today I want to talk to you guys about abiding in the presence of God. The scripture tells us that in the presence of God is fullness of joy. In other words, in the presence of God is where we really get to see the fullness of who God is, where we get to experience and encounter the truth of who God is. We can only know God in this place of abiding in His presence. I want to read a scripture from Psalm 91, and I'm reading from verse 1. It says, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust." Interesting, if we listen to the phrasing there, he says, he who abides, not he who visits the presence of the Lord, but he who abides in the presence of the Lord will hide in the shadow of the Almighty, will find refuge, will find a protector when he needs a protector. He will find a provider when he needs provision. He will find a healer when he needs healing. That is what we find in the presence of God, and when we dwell in the presence of the God, in God. And how we dwell is really to begin to believe that He is the God who dwells. His presence is an abiding presence that does not visit, that does not come and go, but His presence remains. It is our senses or our awareness of His presence that grows dull. And therefore, we need to practice and cultivate abiding in the presence of God daily. And one of the most effective ways that we can become aware of God's presence is to practice thanksgiving, is to practice gratitude, to be thankful for that what God gives us in everyday life. I want to read another scripture in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. And this is also a very famous scripture that you already know. "But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." The source of our strength is in His presence. Those who wait is same as those who abide. We need to dwell in the presence of the Lord. Hear what the Lord is saying about you every day, and dwell upon that. Let your thoughts dwell upon the words that God is releasing over you, the promises that He is declaring over you. And from this place you will find strength. From this place you will run and not faint. From this place you will find a refuge, you will find a provider, you will find a protector, you will find a healer. Because it's in the presence that we find fullness. Not outside, not in our own strength, not in our flesh. We can't do these things out of the flesh. We must do them by the Spirit. And where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom.